Won't you just pull it up, I asked, after witnessing a prolonged campaign along against the blade of a high. Pull it up, child, pull it up. She picked up the limp sprout and squeezed her thumb. Its tiny stalk.
Hermione had fought her way across the stand where Snape stood and was now racing along the road behind him. She didn't even stop to say sorry as she knocked Professor Quirrell headfirst into the road.
Charlie answered the phone at the station himself. Chief Swine, that is Bella. What's wrong? I couldn't argue with this doomsday assumption. This time, my voice was shaking.
Then said he, unto what is the kingdom of God like? And whereunto shall I resemble it? It is like a grain of a mustard seed, which a man took and cast into his garden. It grew, it waxed a great tree, and the fowls of the air lodged into the branches.
I had wanted to bring something to read, but Mama said if I didn't want to play with the other children, I could make myself useful by cleaning fish or bringing water from the nearest well or wood for the barbecue.
Late in the winter of my 17th year, my mother decided that I was depressed, presumably because I rarely left the house, spent most of my nights in my bed, reading the same book over and over.
Piggy looked up miserably from the dawn pale beach to the dark mountain. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I mean, I told you a dozen times now, said Ralph. We saw it all. Do you think?
Every morning, I write a poem before I go to school. Mary had a little lamb, but I got a kid, an HIV, that followed me to school one day.
The wounded from this morning's bombings are being brought in on homemade stretchers and wheelbarrows, on carts, slung across shoulders and clenched tight in arms, bleeding, limbless, unconscious, propelled by desperate people on warehouse with sloppily painted.
Lady, he said, don't get upset. Sometimes a man says things he doesn't mean. I don't reckon he meant to talk to you that way. You wouldn't shoot a lady, would you? The grandmother said and removed a clean handkerchief and cuff and began to slap her eyes with it.
In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me advice that I've been turning over in my ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. He didn't say any more, but we've always been unusually communicative in a reserved way, and I understood that he meant a great...
McCall shook his head. For 9 months, Dalham had been a managing editor. He had started there at the Windlestorm affair got going. He found himself in an editorial crisis.
Ban Book Week is an annual event celebrating the freedom to read, typically held during the last week of September. It highlights the value of free and open access to information. The book features here are only a few books that made it to the list and have all been targeted with the removal or restrictions in the libraries and schools. While books have been and continue to be banned, part of the Ban Book Week celebration is the fact that in a majority of cases, the books have been remained available. This happens only thanks to the efforts of the librarians, teachers, students, and community members who stand up and speak out for the freedom to read. At SSU, we fully support all Tigers' intellectual freedom rights and urge you to read as you see fit. For more information on banned books and challenge books, visit ala.org.